All right, team, what's up? Welcome back to the PT on Ice Daily Show. I am Dr. Jeff Moore, currently serving as CEO of Ice. Always thrilled to be here on the show, and certainly always thrilled to be here on another Leadership Thursday. As always, it is Thursday. If it's Leadership Thursday, it's Gut Check Thursday. Let's run through the workout. So we've got Ernie. Celebrating 99 years young. Many of you did this workout last night live with us. I actually had to knock it out on the tennis court. My daughter's practice was finishing up, so went right till 5:30 and jumped in there, and Dustin was already announcing the workout. We had a blast. So Ernie is nine minute AMRAP, and it's a bunch of nines. So you've got 9 air squats, you've got 9 burpees, you've got 9 push-ups, and then you've got 9 ab mat sit-ups. So you're going to run through that as many times as possible. It's something we do every year in honor of Ernie and in the way that he got after fitness, even late in his life, something we all aspire to. So give a bit of a shout out to Ernie, celebrate him through fitness this week, and let us know how it goes on Gut Check Thursday. As far as upcoming courses, I want to highlight cervical spine this morning because they've got a few double headers coming up. So April 15, 16, we've got a cervical spine offering in Richmond, Virginia, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That'll be with our friends at Delta PT. And then on May 6, 7, they're going to be in both Potomac, Maryland and National City, California, down there by San Diego. So if you've been trying to get in cervical spine management, a couple really good options to do that here over the next month. All right, team. So let's chat about this. And again, Leadership Thursday, a topic I've been wanting to do for a while. Does the end justify the means? It's an age-old question, and it's worth hashing out here because if a few things can sink in, I think it can really change the course of how you navigate your business life. It's an age-old question. Is straying a bit from your values? Is it okay if getting to your goals eventually happens, especially if those are really lofty goals and you believe that achieving them is really important for the greater good? Is straying from your values okay if in the end you hit your goals? If you're in business and you're asking this question, I think you fail to recognize something really foundational. That is that you are playing an infinite game. By the way, great book by Simon Sinek if you have a chance. But this is critical to let this sink in. There is no winning physical therapy. There is no winning business. I don't care what kind of business you're in. There's no winning business. This is an infinite game. There will forever be the next patient to help, the next therapist to train, the next faculty member to coach up, the best business partner to help set up on their path to success. These things are never going away. There's always a next one. Getting what you need, right? Because I think a lot of people say that winning, if you will, is like getting what they need, right? They say, I've got student loan debt. I want to, have this and have this and have this. Getting what you need is the starting point. Because that's when you can really start to help others get what they need. And that's the service mindset that gives back to you and allows you to be energized years and years and years and years beyond when other people are claiming burnout, right? When you're serving others, when you say, hey, I've got what I need, it's bigger than me now. It's when it gets bigger than you that it really starts to matter. And once it gets bigger than you, there's no end to the service that you can engage in. That next person will be there forever. So when you get what you need, it's the starting point, not the ending point. This is beautiful because you can be of use forever. You can go on serving forever. But it also means there is no defined endpoint that you're ever going to hit that would be able to justify deviations from your values along the way to get there because there is no end. So the end couldn't possibly justify the means, which means the means themselves are the only end. To prove that, I don't love doing this, but to prove that, I want to share with you a story of the greatest compliment I've ever received in my career. And this was a number of years ago now. A student who had taken a bunch of ICE courses actually reached out to me and said, do you mind hopping on a call with me? I've taken a bunch of your company's classes and I want to share something with you. And I was like, sure, that's unique. That doesn't happen all the time. I'd love to. And so I get on the phone call, and here's what he says to me. He says, Listen, I've been in the game a long time. So he had been in PT for, really over 2 decades. And he said, I've been to a lot of classes, a lot of certifications. I've done a lot in the business world. And I want to tell you something that I found really unique about ICE. He said, I've been to all these classes, all these live classes, and they've all had different instructors. And what really stood out to me is that at no point across all of these courses did those instructors ever bash another profession or another person or another school of thought. Not that they didn't strongly present what they believed, but they never bashed anybody else. And I just had absolute goose. I have goosebumps right now. This is many years ago. I was so moved by this comment. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't pause to reflect very much on where we've come. I'm always interested in where we're going. But I will tell you that that was the first moment in my career that I felt successful. Whatever that's supposed to mean, right? That was the first moment that I can tell you that deep in my bones, I felt successful. And it wasn't because of a goal we hit, it was because of the way that we carried ourselves. It was because somebody had told me so directly that we were behaving in line with our values. Namely, for us, stay in your lane and drive fast, right? There's no need to look around and critique the people off to the sides. Let people do what they're doing. You know you've got a mission to execute. If you really believe in it, you should be busy with it. Stay in your lane and drive fast. And when he said that, it was just such a clear indication that we had done that. Now, that doesn't mean that we were successful across everything we were doing, but there was no doubt in that moment, one of our key values we had stayed in alignment with. Most of these episodes that I come on here and do on Leadership Thursday are stimulated by conversations, oftentimes with younger PTs or younger business folks who are kind of starting to make their way up. And lately, I've heard a lot of people saying, Jeff, what do you think if I do this? It's not really the way I want to do it. I don't want to practice this way, but I think if I do it for a little while, I'm going to be able to XYZ, right? They tell me this story about how if I just deviate from my values for a while, I'm going to get to my endpoint sooner. What are your thoughts, right? Should that be the goal? And I think there's the underlying folly in that reasoning is the belief in the endpoint, which is absent because there is no end in this game. The only thing that you're going to have in the end is either a sense of a harmony, that in a sense of peace, that you really held the line with your alignment, or a really uneasy feeling that you failed to do so. That's all there's going to be. There is no end to justify your means. So as the years go on, you're going to begin to realize all you really have is the ability to reflect on the quality of your actions in every moment that got you to where you are. I'm telling you this now, and I hope it's hitting a lot of you really early in your career so that you can get in the habit of picking value-based action over shortcuts. Because the shortcut isn't bringing you anywhere. There isn't really anywhere to go. Once you get there, all you have is the next chance to be of use, the next chance to serve. And since there's nowhere to go, there's no end to justify how you got there. So get in the habit right now that you're going to choose to act in alignment with your values at every turn. You're not going to think about what would get me there fastest. You're going to think about when I get wherever I'm going, how am I going to be the most proud of how I wound up here? Choose that avenue. And I believe your career is going to have a lot more profound, deep success. I hope that hits for some of you. Take care. Enjoy your Thursday. I'll see you next week.